Alrighty, we're back for another Monday Miracle, and for this one, I actually want to share about some emotional regulation, some improvements in transition, and the big one was improvements in bedtime routine for this first grader. And this kiddo is just at the beginning of their care plan, actually. So we just had their first progress exam. I figured it'd be a good one to share. A lot of times for our Monday Miracles, we share the very end result, but I think it's really cool for you parents out there who are thinking about maybe bringing your kiddo into Bright Beginnings to kind of get the process of it all as well. So we did our nervous system scans, we had our phone consult, we set up our goals for care, we went over schedule, we went over investment, we went over all of that, and we started care. And we knew that the biggest goal for this family was to have an improved bedtime routine without meltdowns. It was every single night. It was a huge meltdown. For mom, a little bit more for dad, but they tried their best, and they got another kiddo too. And so every night was it was a big thing, okay? And so that was really their number one goal. But they were also looking to improve his emotional regulation, and then also looking to see less exhaustion. And the funny thing about that is they don't always go together, right? You think less exhaustion, but he's having trouble with transitions. We see this a lot because his system was so go all the time, stuck in that fight or flight, stress, sensory struggles, that then it would burn out pretty quickly as well. And so we've been able to start to calm down that system, remove that stress out of the neurospinal system, allow that energy not to be as high and not working as hard, and therefore his exhaustion and fatigue has decreased as well. So anyway, through the first month of care, what we tell all parents is we just want to see change, okay? And what they saw was certainly change. They saw some really awesome changes where they started to notice that going down for bed has been a little bit easier, and he's sleeping in a little bit later because his system is less wound up. So he's able to actually get some deeper sleep. They're noticing that there was easier transitions, which the big thing was he just started, right? We just started the school year. And so the entry into first grade has been pretty well, has gone pretty well. They were expecting it to be a little bit tougher. They certainly were expecting maybe to hear some negative feedback from teacher. They had that in the past, and there hasn't been any of that so far. They've noticed that there's just been less big outbursts and big emotions, but they're still, as they call them, they're still having some standoffs on occasion, right? We don't expect all this stuff to just be better in a month, but we're starting to see changes. Now, the interesting thing is they also saw some things at the beginning of care that were kind of out of the ordinary, right? All of a sudden, there was a couple times where he had kind of wet the bed. He hadn't done that in forever when we first started, right? And the question behind this, or sometimes we'll get kids that maybe even struggle with behavior a little bit at the beginning, or are really tired at the beginning, or really wound up at the beginning after they start receiving adjustments, is we're changing what the body is used to, right? This kiddo's body has been running on fight or flight, has been running on stress for a while now. And when we start with adjustments, everything is changing, and their body has to kind of process those changes. And so we tell parents all the time, we call this kind of a neuro detox, that sometimes some kind of unique things happen, but really from a clinical perspective, the second there's change happening, it's a good thing, because it means their body is realizing we're doing something different, and we're changing the patterning that their nervous system, that their body has become so accustomed to. And clearly, we know the change is good, but the body just sees it as different. And so we have to wait for the body to catch up and realize, oh wow, this is nicer, this is more efficient, this is less stress, all of those things. And it will. And sure enough, right, after we saw some of those and parents had a little concern right off the bat as that was happening, now a month in, we're seeing all those awesome improvements that we talked about at the beginning. So just a little glimpse into the process there. We'd like to see those things starting to happen within the first month or so, but for a lot of kids, it takes longer. For a lot of kids, it takes time, and that's why our care plans are not just short and sweet. We know that it takes time to rewire a nervous system, to change the way that nervous system is functioning, to get those end goals in behavior that we want at the end. So another Monday Miracle there. We're just getting started with this kiddo, but we're starting to see progress. And when we see progress, we know we're doing the right things. We just have to keep at it, and that's exactly what we're gonna do. So happy Monday. Any questions, send them our way. We're here to help. Have a great rest of your week.